The 10 greatest boxers in history. Number 10. Mike Tyson. The former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson cemented his legacy as one of the greatest boxers to ever live. Winning his first championship title at just 20 years old, he held the title until 1990 when he was defeated by Buster Douglas. Number 9. Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. is a retired American boxer and a former 3-division world champion. Jones Jr. is considered one of the best pound-for-pound boxers of all time. He was named Fighter of the Decade for the 1990s by the Ring magazine, and TubesBest has him ranked as the 9th greatest fighter of all time. Number 8. Joe Louis. Joe Louis is one of the most famous and successful boxers of all time. He set records for length and number of title defenses. Number 7. Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes is a retired professional boxer who in 1979 became the unified heavyweight champion of the world. He was a longtime WBC and IBF World Heavyweight Champion. Holmes is considered by most to have the greatest jab in boxing history. His championship reign over the heavyweight division lasted from 1978 to 1985. Number 6. Carlos Monzon. Carlos Monzon is one of the most dominant boxers in history. He was an Argentine professional boxer with a record of 87, 3, 9, and 1 with 59 knockouts. With his 14 title defenses, Carlos Monzon is arguably the greatest middleweight boxer of all time. Only Bernard Hopkins has more title defenses at middleweight. Hopkins holds the record at 19. Number 5. Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard is one of the most iconic boxers of all time. After winning gold at the 1976 Montreal Olympics, he turned pro and became the WBC welterweight champion in 1979. His 36, 3 and 1 record and Madison Avenue prowess made him a global boxing superstar. He went on to win titles in 5 weight divisions: junior welterweight, welterweight, light middleweight, middleweight and light heavyweight. Number 4. Jack Johnson. Widely regarded as the most influential boxer of all time, Johnson had to brave extremely racist and physically hostile crowds to become the first black heavyweight champion of the world. His victory over James Jeffries was dubbed the fight of the century and is considered one of the biggest title bouts in history. Number 3. Sugar Ray Robinson. Often regarded as the greatest pound-for-pound fighter in the history of the sport, Sugar Ray Robinson turned professional at 19 years old. He finished his career with 201 fights. (174 victories, from which 109 came by way of knockout. He was the first fighter to win a divisional world championship 5 times. Number 2. Floyd "Money" Mayweather Jr. Widely regarded as the best fighter ever, it is hard to argue the status of Floyd Mayweather Jr. throughout the pantheon of boxing greats. With an astonishing 50-0 fight record, this boxing legend won 15 different world championships throughout his 5-division reign, all while beating the biggest fighters of his era. From Oscar de la Hoya, Shane Mosley, Manny Pacquiao, Canelo Alvarez, and many more. If that wasn't enough, he retired the wealthiest fighter in history, accumulating $1 billion in fight purses. Number 1. Muhammad Ali. Known the world over as the greatest, there is no disputing who lands at number 1. The most influential professional athlete in the history of sport, there's no denying the importance of Muhammad Ali, in and out of the ring. Ali faced the stiffest competition of any boxing champion during his 21-year professional career, facing the likes of former champions and boxing greats such as Joe Frazier, George Foreman, Sonny Liston, and countless more. A devout Muslim, Muhammad Ali was a beloved champion who fought for the civil rights of mankind.